I'm pretty sure no one, not a single person, saw Edgeshot doing this. I mean, guess that's why they call him the ninja hero. What's up? It's Truth Hero, and welcome back to quite the unexpected turn of events. My Hero Academia Chapter 364 will cover everything from All for One using Aries' quirk, but his time slowly running out, to America and the other nations' response to Shigaraki, and of course, Edgeshot's ultimate sacrifice for Bakugo. Let's dive in. The chapter opens with a flashback of Dr. Ujiko explaining his research on the quirk erasing bullets, and that the quirk they're created from, Aries, confirms the Quirk Doomsday theory. It goes on to show how Ujiko concentrated and purified the liquid contained within the bullets, duplicated them, and left them for All for One, saying, with these, you can achieve your dreams. Okay, good, great for All for One and his dreams. No one cares. I'm sorry. This confirms the Quirk Doomsday theory? We'll dive more into All for One's revelation in a bit, but as he notes, he will eventually die from using Aries' quirk. My question is, in what way? Will All for One disappear, as in be rewound so far back that there is nothing left, just like Aries' parents were accidentally, or how Deku might have been had Aizawa not stopped Aries? Or does it mean that All for One's body holds a quirk, albeit not his originally, that has now reached Doomsday level, and therefore his body cannot hold it? Possibly no one's body can hold it, and therefore he will be torn apart from the inside. Also, since this outright proves the scientific hypothesis, or Quirk Doomsday theory, does this mean Fleck, Turn, and Humorize were actually correct about the fate of humanity in My Hero Academia? They, of course, were way out of line, but it raises some interesting questions about the future of the universe of My Hero Academia. I think it's safe to say that Deku should not try to pass on One for All to anyone for an extended period of time, but we kind of already knew this because the quirk has reached its singularity point. But what about Aries, who has the original copy of this Doomsday quirk, or the quirk that proves this theory? Can she have children, or will their quirks be too powerful that they're ripped apart from the inside and humanity can no longer continue? What about the children of the elementary school where the heroes got their provisional licenses? Are they okay to do that? Makes you wonder. I guess in the future they'll need some pretty powerful heroes, and judging by how quirks go, they might get them. All for One congratulates Endeavor and Hawks, saying, "You should be proud that you forced me to use my last resort." He's now feeling rejuvenated and light, and drops down to the battlefield, where he immediately starts causing mayhem. He takes a random hero's quirk and her cloak, but on the bright side, at least he put some clothes on. In the middle of all this pandemonium, Tokoyami realizes and confirms that this is indeed Aries' quirk. Fortunately for the heroes, this isn't just a done deal. It's not permanent. All for One confirms that although he is rejuvenated, he won't last very long. He can't have this power forever. But that's okay. According to All for One, he knew his time was fleeting, but he's at peace because he's passed on everything he knows, all of his quirks, his original All for One quirk, everything he possibly could to young Shigaraki, so that he may continue the Villain King's legacy. If you, like me, breathed a sigh of relief thinking, well, if All for One's just gonna die and fizzle out, then Endeavor and Hawks can now go to Shigaraki and focus on the main battle. Not exactly. You might want to take that breath back, because Endeavor and Hawks still need to focus on All for One, because 1, to stop him from doing further damage, and 2, to stop All for One from giving a version of Aries' quirk to Shigaraki that could be contained in his body and help him rewind anytime he wants. It would be tremendously bad if Shigaraki gained the ability to restore his body with Aries' quirk, or to rewind someone by touching them. Although it's possible through his mods, he already has better regenerative powers. We then flash over to Washington, D.C. of all places, where Timothy Agbar, really? Really, Horikoshi?
It's a trap!
To convince the President of the United States to go to war, which, I mean, Horikoshi's not wrong. That is, it's kind of our favorite pastime. But he wants the President to take action against Shigaraki and All for One. And the President responds, listen, Akbar, you as well as Star and Stripe are the reason that Shigaraki sees our nation as a threat. While the President is right about Shigaraki perceiving the US as a threat, and the predicament Akbar and Star and Stripe have put them in, his plan to attack later or hold out for a better plan is not going to work. Right now, every nation across the globe is clamoring to try and gain Shigaraki's trust in order to save themselves. And if you look at history, taking that coward's approach to trying to appease the villain in order to save your own skin never really works out. Akbar then talks about Star and Stripe, saying she didn't fight and die for us just to surrender to Shigaraki for this future. He also says it's important for adults and the heroes to inspire the younger generations, something that also relates to this chapter's ending. I like this subtle nod to history that Horikoshi has in here. Like, if there was ever a nation that would have a debate about whether to meddle in world affairs to stop tyranny and preserve freedom, it's America. I don't know if it's because, America never give up, fight for freedom, or if it's just a powerful nation of heroes in the My Hero Academia universe. Either way, it kind of works out. Akbar is right here though. You cannot try to appease evil and get on its good side. It's evil. It doesn't have a good side. It doesn't have what's best for you in mind. If you let Shigaraki rule you once, you will have lost everything. You will have surrendered your nation and your people to this tyrant. Instead of all these nations trying to get on his good side and gain his trust, they should be coming together and trusting each other. This is the final battle. This is the final fight. It's time to fight together. Maybe my friends in the UK can appreciate this a bit more, but Britain was considering negotiating with Germany in the 40s, and Winston Churchill put a stop to that. He said, "We shall never surrender." I'm not a history expert, but pretty sure that was the right move. Back on the main battlefield, as Mirio and Miruko are battling against Shigaraki, or at this point more or less just annoying him, Edgeshot of all heroes appears. I mean, I guess that's what ninjas are good at, appearing out of nowhere. But since he is so good at sneaking around, he can even sneak into the human body. With Shigaraki distracted by the heroes, Edgeshot slowly unravels and begins to fill in the missing parts of Bakugo's body. Best Jeanist warns his friend, his classmate, Kamihara, once you do this, there's no coming back. Edgeshot then tells Best Jeanist, or from their school days, Chairman Hakamata, I leave the rest to you, before completely unraveling and becoming Bakugo's new heart. I'm sorry, what? Okay, I generally give a lot of leeway to authors and writers. I'm very open to these creative and unexpected twists and stories. But please explain to me how we have Edgeshot's backstory before we have Shoji's. Explain to me how he's even remotely the one helping Bakugo. Make it make sense. I mean, I really want to be generous here, but I completely understand how people are pretty upset about this. Before we dive deep into this, what are your thoughts on this? Comment down below. My initial thoughts were that this is not the way you revive or restore Bakugo. It's completely out of left field. I mean, I guess it's a bit creative, but this? Also, is it creative? I mean, objectively. Do I have to go back and read a few chapters? What am I missing? When did Edgeshot go from being the ninja guy who can get paper thin and mess with people's internal organs to then becoming the guy who can transform into people's internal organs? Was there a Quirk awakening that I forgot about or something back 100 chapters ago? This was always an option? I have so many questions too. Is this technically an organ transplant? Are they the same blood type? Is Edgeshot actually still conscious inside of Bakugo? Does Bakugo get ninja powers now? At the end of the day, I always knew that there was a possibility Bakugo would come back. He's the most popular character, he's second behind the lead. There was always going to be a way to revive or restore him, or his death wouldn't exactly be permanent, without some cliche way like Eri restoring and rewinding him, or Overhaul coming back, or maybe even, I don't know, Best Jeanist using the muscle fiber theory that was out there. People didn't really even like that, but Edgeshot to revive Bakugo. I mean, if you wanted to pull a twist, you certainly succeeded. I don't know, like you guys, I'm kind of dumbfounded at this. Edgeshot isn't even Bakugo's mentor. I could definitely see Best Jeanist being involved, whether we like the theory or not. At least he has a relationship with Bakugo. The only thing that Bakugo and Edgeshot have in common is that they're both dudes and they're both heroes. Like, congratulations. I guess the one positive is that Edgeshot did fulfill what Akbar was saying. It is time for the adults to be the role models and to give hope to the next generation. At least this way, Edgeshot's sacrifice allows Bakugo to wake up and he'll be in the arms of his teacher Best Jeanist. But, wow. Very unexpected. But I'm very curious as to what you guys think. Is Edgeshot restoring and becoming Bakugo's heart just completely ridiculous, ludicrous, and made up to revive this character? Or is there some deeper meaning behind why Edgeshot is the one making the sacrifice here? And we'll see at a later point. And if you do know, please share that with me in the community, because I think everyone wants to know. Also, what do you guys think happens now that Bakugo will seemingly wake up from this? I assume Deku's going to arrive. Well, what is Bakugo going to do now? And what should the nations do in countering Shigaraki? If you guys like these My Hero Academia videos and these chapter reviews, consider enrolling at UA today by subscribing. And until next time, Plus Ultra.